Hello and what is up, YouTube? A very happy Thanksgiving to all of you who are stateside and it's Thanksgiving. You're probably watching this video because you're either A, avoiding family, B, you're with family and you wanted to show them your most favorite slightly balding YouTube friend, or C, you were thinking on Thanksgiving, one of the things I'm thankful for is G3 Iron's happy holiday videos that he puts out during the holidays that bring warmth and cheer to action RPG fans everywhere. Anyway, whatever the reason is that you are here today, welcome. And we've got some exciting announcements that relate to us as a YouTube community and Discord community all together. So, without any further ado, I have been thinking over the last year as we have grown as a community and as more and more people come in with more and more questions and more ideas are bandied about how exactly we together can have a great time right here using the discussion platforms that we have. I very often will have ideas for discussions that do not make it to your viewing devices, simply because, in my own opinion, they're going to be discussions that might interest me, but probably won't interest anyone else. So those are discussions to have between my own two ears, and not necessarily for the benefit of your ears. Well, one of the discussions that I've been kicking around in my own slightly balding brain over the last year have been, what the heck ever happened to Build of the Week? Build of the Week used to be something that many of us would look forward to. There would be videos, there would be Chris or Bex coming in and telling us about different mechanics, different ways of playing particular character classes or ascendancies, how to approach particular unique items and actually make them work into a viable build, or into a viable build in some circumstances. And what I wanted to do was essentially say, okay, how do we do that? How do we capture the idea of Build of the Week and run with it? How do we make it so that way there is a platform for discussion, for shared ideas, for feedback, and for essentially for the community to have an outlet and for exposure for a lot of new players to get to see various builds throughout the history of Path of Exile and moving forward for the continuation of the future of Path of Exile. So, today's big announcement is that we are committing right here on the G3 channel for the next year. So maybe next Thanksgiving, I will come on here incredibly bald, completely bald, and tell you that this has been an insane project and we're throwing it into the curbside. But for 1 year, our goal is going to be every single week, one build a week, to give you a discussion and an opportunity to take a look at one particular build and how maybe one or two or maybe three contributors have approached that particular build during any particular patch cycle. So I'm sure there will be a couple of questions, so feel free to drop them down below in the comments. I'm going to be around throughout Thanksgiving and checking my phone because, as we all know, politics, religion, and PoE are the three things that are sure to get you most in trouble with your family on a day like today. And so I'm going to be engaged in having discussions about politics, religion, and of course, Path of Exile. So feel free to drop a comment or a question if you've got suggestions or ideas down below. We're going to have a section, as we already do on our Discord channel, that is specifically set aside for build help and advice. And what we'll be doing is allowing players to submit their builds to the community through there. So you can, of course, join our Discord with the Discord link that is down below. But what we won't be doing is taking those builds and then showing those off unless community members have a significant reaction to the build. So if you in particular have got a build that you want featured, or you know someone else's build that you'd like to be featured on our Build of the Week series, what you can do is you can send us an email. I know, so weird, right? It's 2019, it's almost 2020, and we're like, Iron still uses email. Yes, I still use email. You can send us an email. Our email address is down below in the video description, goodguygaming3@gmail.com. You can send us an email with a link to a build that you would want to submit to Builds of the Week. So, without any further ado, what we're going to do is show you a Build of the Week coming tomorrow. So, if you're excited for our first in this potentially tragic and terrible series on builds that you might be interested in, you definitely will laugh at, and you probably won't ever play. then tune back in tomorrow where we will be taking a look at our first build of the week for the next year. And this might all be terrible. It might be a horrible idea. I might halfway through it pitch the idea and say this is awful. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving. That's the big announcement. That's the big surprise. That's what we're going to be doing over the next year. It's not going to be a massive change from what we already do. We're still going to do economics updates every single league. We're still going to do news updates whenever it is that GGG blesses us with hype cycles that are filled with item teases and divination card previews and trailers and all sorts of various mysterious Easter egg hints about new patch notes and new potential buffs and nerfs for items and for builds. We're still going to do all of that sort of stuff, and we'll still have our regular discussions where we talk about mechanics and where we hopefully educate and help along newer players who are coming into the game, as well as address various discussions that are going on hot topic issues that come up throughout the next year of Path of Exile. But in addition to all of that great discussion content that we already know and love, we're throwing on top of that potentially a cherry on top. I hate cherries, so we'll see if this is a cherry that everybody hates together. We're going to add in a build of the week. So if you've got suggestions about build of the week, or have got feedback or ideas, feel free to drop us a comment down below. And like I said, if you'd like to submit a build for Build of the Week, you can, of course, do that via our email address. And if you've got build questions or build help concerns, or you want to help other people work on their builds, you can feel free to join our free-to-join Discord server. There are, of course, perks for Patreon supporters, so big shout-out to all of our Patreon supporters who support us and make all of the wonderful content and upgrades and props and hardware and software needs that need to be upgraded happen. So thanks so much to all of you Patreon supporters and for your continued support. So there are bonuses for Patreon supporters, but the Discord's free to join. So you might as well join, help out other users as they are looking for answers to their own build questions, or submit your own build questions, because we've got a wonderful community of players that are over there on Discord, happy and ready to help out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope this Thanksgiving and this upcoming Metamorph League is the league when a Mirror of Calandra drops for you, and you can spend the entirety of that currency on some wacky build that we show off during Build of the Week. Thanks for watching that video. If you'd like more information on any of our discussion points today, you can see them down below in the video description. If you'd also like to join our Discord or support our Patreon, you can do so with the links down below. Thanks again, and big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters.